Well, that didn't take very long at all. We have new news for shiny mythical releases with Pokemon Home. I feel like literally a week ago, we just got the newest one, which was like the Enamorus and the Manaphy. So yesterday morning, they announced the shiny Keldeo and shiny Meltan Pokemon Home distribution challenge thing that they're doing. So it's very interesting because one time releasing a shiny mythical is cool. 2 times releasing shiny mythicals is like a coincidence. But 3 times releasing the shiny mythicals is a pattern. So let's go over this really quick. So and also I learned apparently it's the 5th anniversary of Home, and maybe that's why I got charged $16 the other day. So the 5th anniversary of Home, we have released shiny Keldeo for completing the entire Galar Dex, including the DLCs, the Isle of Armor and Crown Tundra, and you get that by I'm gonna call it uploading or transferring every Pokemon in the Dex to Home. It's not just Dex completion in-game, you have to put it into Home in each form of an evolution line, for example. Not form, that's a bad word. You don't need, like, gender forms, none of that, or I don't think even Alolan forms or Galarian forms, but every line of a Pokemon, like, friggin' the starter. What's the starter? Grookey. You need to have a Grookey, the middle one, and then a Rillaboom separately uploaded. So you can't do the same one. You can, like, upload a Grookey, put it back, evolve it, upload the middle one, put it back, evolve the Rillaboom. You get credit for all 3. But you gotta complete your home Dex, which is separate from your in-game Dex. And then the shiny Meltan is a reward for completing the Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee side of the Dex. This is actually the only Dex I have completed at Home up to this point. The interesting thing is that Meltan is not a very interesting reward. I still think it's cool because I understand it's a unique origin mark, so it is different from your Go Meltan. And the problem is, I guess you can't evolve it to Melmetal yet. I'm sure down the road they'll have another way to evolve Meltan. Maybe not, because that's what gets people to play Pokemon Go. So who knows? But you get a shiny Meltan anyway. And now what I'm thinking about here, we now have a shiny mythical reward for all of the Switch Pokemon games. Scarlet and Violet, Legends Arceus, Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, Sword and Shield, and Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. And the only other Dex in Home that is tracked is Pokemon Go. And I saw a very interesting Reddit post. I wish I could find it. But basically their theory was that there could be mythical rewards for, like, Go milestones. For example, like at 100 Go completion, you get a reward. At 200 Go completion, you get another reward, and so on. I think that's a brilliant idea, and I really hope they do something like that, because obviously not every Pokemon is even in Go yet. I think as of now, like, the Go Dex available it's like 850 or so out of 1010 or whatever it is. So we've established the pattern now. And I would say 98% sure they're gonna have a reward for Pokemon Go. And the interesting thing is, now that I'm looking at Cerebi about this, Keldeo and Meltan released on the 5th anniversary of Pokemon Home. And then you go down, Enamorus and Manaphy were released on the 3rd anniversary of Legends Arceus. And Meloetta, I guess it wasn't an anniversary, actually. This botches my theory. But it was a Home update in October 16, and Scarlet and Violet release date was November. That doesn't really track. My theory is, and it's a long way away, so could be wrong, but I'm gonna stick to my theory that the next Go anniversary which is, it was July 6th. So maybe, could be wrong. My theory is July 6th, 2025, we may get the reward criteria or challenge criteria for the Go Home Dex. I know a lot of people probably would be upset, I guess, but I have already been working on this. As we know, I'm working on the Origin Dex, which is a living dex in home of all the origin marks across all the games and generations, not including the no marks, which is a mix of 3, 4, and 5. But so I already have at least 776 in my Origin Dex in home. So like, if they released benchmark rewards by the 100, I would get 7 automatically, so that's kind of cool. Anyway, that's as much as I want to talk about that. It's probably will be one more video coming up in some time where they release some kind of Go mythical reward. But again, I love these because, and you don't have to have a living dex necessarily, but you're going to be trading or, you know, completing the home dex. And to me, it's creating an Origin Dex for these different Pokedexes, because the Pokemon have to come from that game. So I love it because I'm going to get these anyway through my own personal challenge that I'm doing. And I think it's really cool. It's really cool. The Meltan, not the coolest, but I'm not going to complain about a cool mythical shiny reward that has a stamp, the origin mark that tells me where it came from, and it's basically an achievement. Like, I love achievements anyway. So that's that. See you in 4 months when the next event drops, and goodbye.